Hello everybody, today I am back with another video. I will be showing you the connection between Lucifer and the Egyptian god Horus and how they are one and the same. Without further ado, let's get started. Osiris begot a son Horus who is referred to by the Egyptians as the morning star. The hieroglyphic for this means divine wisdom. Egyptian kings were thought to be an incarnation of Horus. This was passed from father to son upon death, whereupon he merges and becomes one with Osiris. A passage from the pyramid texts shows that the new Horus was considered to be the morning star, when the new Osiris says, "The reed floats of the sky are set in place for me, that I may cross by means of them to Ra at the horizon. I will stand among them, for the moon is my brother, the morning star is my offspring." The Egyptian hieroglyphic for the morning star has the literal meaning divine knowledge, the Iram Ki, night and Lomus. This brings new meaning to highly honored Freemason Albert Pike's often quoted verse. Lucifer, the light bearer. Strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning. Is it he who bears the light? Doubt it not. Everything good in nature comes from Osiris, order, harmony, and the favorable temperature of the seasons and celestial periods. In 1880, Kenneth Anger, a follower of the founding father of modern Satanism, Aleister Crowley, produced a film called Lucifer Rising, in which he portrays Lucifer as a beautiful bringer of light and a cosmic trickster. The music for the film was produced by Bobby Beausoleil, who was a sidekick of the serial killer and Satanist Charles Manson. Lucifer Rising was filmed in Luxor, Karnak, Gizeh, Externstein, London and Avebury. Mick Jagger, one of his squeezes was Mayan Faithful, who played Lilith in the film, was evidently taken with Anger's work. Indeed, Anger claims it was their conversations which inspired Jagger to write Sympathy for the Devil, and agreed to take the part of Lucifer. He backed down before shooting began, however, apparently fearing that the satanic aura he had once sought to cultivate was becoming too tangible for comfort. Eventually a Middlesbrough steel worker named Leslie Huggins was recruited for the part. Kenneth Anger wrote of Lucifer, "Like Scorpio Rising, Lucifer Rising is about several things. I'm an artist working in light, and that's my whole interest, really. Lucifer is the light god, not the devil. That's a Christian slander. I'm showing actual ceremonies in the film. What is performed in front of the camera won't be a reenactment, and purpose will be to make Lucifer rise. Lucifer is the rebel angel behind what's happening in the world today. His message is that the key of joy is disobedience." Cast: Miriam Gerbil, Donald Cammell, Hayden Coots, Kenneth Anger, Sir Francis Rose, Marianne Faithfull, Leslie Huggins. The following is a review of the film from the Kenneth Anger, Magus Filmmaker, tribute website. The ascension of Lucifer, bringer of light, invoked by Isis, Osiris, Lucifer's adept, Lilith and the Magus. Lucifer Rising has been beset with problems. Cast changes have been complicated by stolen footage and financial woes. Over the past 10 years, several incarnations of the film have appeared. Kenneth Anger re-edited this revised edition in 1980, adding a music track from his original Lucifer. Bobby Beausoleil and the Freedom Orchestra, a group of prisoners serving life sentences. Recorded in Dual Prison in Tracy, California. Although Christian theology views Lucifer as a personification of evil and a rebellious fallen angel, Anger sees him as a beautiful bringer of light and a cosmic trickster. Anger's Lucifer is linked to the illuminating gods of pagan religions, most notably Horus, the Egyptian falcon-headed sun god. Lucifer Rising is an invocation of Lucifer by Isis and Osiris, Lucifer's adept, Lilith and the Magus. The gods and their human receivers appear at magical sites such as Karnak, Luxor, Avebury and Stonehenge to call forth the explosive, chaotic, dramatic, but also tender forces of nature. Storms, fires, volcanic eruptions, a solar eclipse, the birth of a crocodile, the labor of a beetle, the grazing of a goat. They summon Lucifer, who arrives in a variety of trickster guises in order to amuse, confuse and enlighten the viewer. In a grand finale to the film, Anger has called it visual music. A glowing pink flying saucer floats over the Sphinx, signifying that humanity can embrace the ancient gods of its past as well as its future. Past, present and future are shown to be one and the same. Lucifer Rising constitutes Kenneth Anger's glorious vision of the dawning of the Aquarian Age, the Aeon of Horus. End of quote. So the insiders, the adepts of the concealed inner temple, tell us that Horus is really Lucifer and that the coming NWO, the Masonic version of the Aquarian Age, is synonymous with the Age of Horus. The Masonic, Horus Lucifer one and the same. Anger was affiliated with Anton LaVey's Church of Satan as well, and of course Horus is Lucifer and the Eye of Horus on the dollar bill is the Eye of Satan. What is called the Grail is a celestial stone that fell on earth, when Lucifer's crown burst into 1,000 pieces in the War of Heaven. Only if we succeed to put together the dispersed pieces, Lucifer will be atoned for. Because he is the morning star, the star of Ilela, the guard of our love, Miguel Serrano. a Chilean diplomat and writer who has traveled widely in India studying yoga and had a close friendship with C.G. Jung and Hermann Hesse at the end of their lives. Author of C.G. Jung and Hermann Hesse. Freemasonry and the Legend of Osiris, Lucifer. Osiris, both king of the Egyptians and their god, went on a long journey to bless neighboring nations with his knowledge of arts and sciences. His jealous brother, Typhon, conspired to murder him, steal his kingdom, and did so. Isis, sister and wife of Osiris and his queen, set out on a search for the body, making inquiries of all she met. After certain adventures, she found the body with an acacia tree at the head of the coffin. Returning home, she secretly buried the body, intending to give it a proper burial as soon as arrangements were made. Typhon, by treachery, stole the body, cut it up into 14 pieces and hid them in as many places. Isis then made a second search and located all the pieces but one. The one missing and lost part was the phallus. She made a substitute phallus, consecrated it, and it became a sacred substitute, and object of worship. This, in extremely abbreviated form, is the Egyptian legend of Isis and Osiris. It is without doubt the basis for the Masonic legend of Hiram-Abiff. To support this Egyptian connection, let's consider two things: a brief comparison of key elements in both stories and the conclusions of the Masonic authorities and Masonic source writings. B. A brief comparison of the legends of Hiram-Abiff and Osiris. The fundamental similarity between the two stories may be seen in many respects. The following are some of the most important. Both men went to foreign lands to share their knowledge of arts and sciences. In both legends there is a precious thing possessed. Hiram has the secret word, Osiris has the kingdom. In both legends there is a wicked conspiracy by evil men to seize the precious thing. In both legends there is a struggle and a murder of the virtuous leader. Both are murdered by their brothers. Both bodies are buried hastily, with the intention of a later, deliberate burial. Locations of the bodies are both marked by acacia at the head. In both legends, there are two separate searches for the bodies. In both legends there is a loss of something precious. In Hiram's death, the secret word is lost. In Osiris' death, the phallus is lost. In both there is a substitution for the precious thing that has been lost. Concerning Hiram it is the substitute for the secret word. Concerning Osiris it is the substitute phallus. See conclusions of the Masonic authorities. A few statements from the most authoritative Masonic writers will suffice to express the doctrinal consensus. The legend and traditions of Hiram-Abiff form the consummation of the connecting link between Freemasonry and the ancient mysteries. We readily recognize in Hiram-Abiff the Osiris of the Egyptians. Osiris and the Tyrian architect are one and the same. That part of the rite which is connected with the legend of the Tyrian artist should be studied as a myth and not as a fact. Outside of Masonic tradition, there is no proof that an event such as this is related in connection with the temple builder had ever transpired. The ceremony is older by more than 1,000 years than the age of Solomon. It is thoroughly Egyptian, and is closely allied to the supreme rite of the Ionic Mysteries, Mackey, Albert, Lexicon of Freemasonry. Thus, it seems clear, the Hiram-Abiff of Freemasonry is not an historical character and certainly not a biblical one. Rather, he actually represents Osiris, the Egyptian sun god, and the reenactment of the legend of Hiram-Abiff is actually the reenactment of the legend of Isis and Osiris. Thus, each sincere man who is initiated into the third degree of Masonry impersonates Osiris, the sun god of Egypt, and enters into his life of good deeds, his death, his burial and his raised resurrection from the dead. With this understood, it is then easy to understand the statement in the Kentucky Monitor. While the Christian's Messiah is called Jesus, the Mason's Messiah is called Hiram, also known as Lucifer Hiram or Sanakumara, Lord of the world. Just like Jesus said he was.